Nerd Rage Renegades.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerd Rage Renegades podcast. Finally, past Horrorfest.
Yep.
I'm telling you
Finally.
what, we do that for a whole month, but towards the end, it's kind of like, I love doing it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program.
Well, this year, instead of driving ourselves crazy with like actual Horrorfest lists and all that bullshit, we had a pretty easygoing Horrorfest, but then we also tried to squeeze in 2 commentary tracks in there too, so we made it just as hard.
So yeah, if you're listening to this on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever you're listening to this, if you go right now, please go to YouTube, to the Nerd Rage Renegades YouTube channel. Uploaded as of the 31st of October in the year of our Lord 2017 is the Renegade riffs of the Legend of Bigfoot.
Yeah. And I got Spence sent me my preview copy yesterday after he re-edited some stuff, and it sounds good. Everything's on track. Everything sounds good. Real easy. It's real easy to do. All you got to do is go to the instructions. Well, there's instructions on the track.
Yep.
There's links. There's links to where you need to go, and just follow the directions at the beginning, and it's real easy to do, and it's pretty good stuff. So go ahead and go have some fun with Bigfoot and Ivan Marks.
Yes, and then be on the lookout, because very soon we're going to have our second commentary track coming your way, which we recorded just the other night.
Yeah, it's in the can. It's got to get edited and brushed up and made pretty for YouTube's.
Oh, yeah, and we've already started in the works of our third one.
Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to remember which one the third one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I remember. I know.
We can go ahead.
Do we want to reveal it?
We can go ahead and reveal it. So so you've got Ivan Marks, The Legend of Bigfoot. That's number 1. Your second one is going to be, you've heard about it on this show, it's going to be Gargoyles.
Yeah. MAGA.
MAGA. Now the third one is going to be kind of a social experiment of Chief and I going into madness. You're going to hear us do commentary on the time machine I found at a yard sale.
Yeah, and neither one of us have watched the whole thing through its completion. We've only seen it reviewed by other people, so we don't even really know ourselves what we're getting into. We've kind of brushed through it to see if it was good for the commentary, but that's as far as we went.
It's going to be fun. I honestly, it's probably just going to be you and I yelling for about 84 minutes. Do something!
Yeah, it looks really bad.
Well, then we have that Alice in Murderland, not the one that we watched before. This is a different Alice in Murderland.
Yeah, which still mind-boggling that they've got 2 movies of the same exact title, but this new one is a bunch of Americans trying to do British accents and trying to do a twisted version of the actual Alice in Wonderland story, so it looks endlessly entertaining.
Yes.
Very low-budget Alice in Wonderland movie.
A lot of people, they love to do the commentary tracks of either, like, cult movies or big blockbusters. I kind of like doing these off-the-wall weird movies or maybe some good 80s, like, B action films.
We ought to do what we ought to do next, one of the things we ought to do is the 80s teen movies.
Oh.
Like your Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Breakfast Club.
Well, even get into like some of the really dirty, like the old dirty ones. Like we could do like Zapped with Scott Baio.
Yes, anything with Scott Baio is golden.
Scott Baio and Willie Ames, by the way. The Charles in Charge gruesome twosome are in that one.
Scott Baio, he's a MAGA.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is.
He's a big time MAGA.
That's just Murder with Dick Van Dyke.
He's big time MAGA.
He's Chachi. The Chach.
Chachi loves making America great again.
Yeah, Chachi's out making America great again. I cannot believe with all the Hollywood scandal that Chachi hasn't been caught up in it, because he's been around some like some of the young starlets from way back.
Oh, you mean the Harvey Weinstein thing that's been going
Yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The big Hollywood, the burning of Hollywood that's happening right now.
There's like 3 more came forward like in the last day or so.
Oh, there's all sorts getting wrapped up in it. I mean, you wouldn't even Kevin Spacey this morning I read is wrapped up in this now.
Kevin Spacey on the good side or the bad side?
The bad side.
Oh, not Kevin Spacey. I like Kevin Spacey.
That turns out allegedly Kevin Spacey tried to get it on with a 14-year-old boy back in the 80s. So getting into the weirder end of it as well.
My God, I mean, it's like everything's coming out of the woodwork of Hollywood, and I liked Kevin Spacey. I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, like tons of them are involved in this, and it's like, I don't even know what to think. Not being a part of it and not knowing the truth, I mean, what am I supposed to think? I can't. I'm not judging anybody until somebody goes to court. That's the way I am. Somebody's got to, go to court and Until then, I'm not going to condemn. I'm not going to go around condemning people online and jumping on the bandwagon until somebody is taken to court over something.
Well, I mean, we know that. I mean, Bill Cosby. Everybody thought he was just a wholesome guy, and then comes out he's.
Well, I mean, it also depends too. I mean, I will say this: when the evidence is so corroborated by so many people, it's hard to believe something didn't go down. But I still believe in due process in the court system. So, if somebody did something illegal, then if they did it, then fuck them, let them go to prison. But I mean, I'm not gonna start being judge, jury, and executioner on everybody from comments online. That's my stance on it.
Didn't Kevin Smith say he's going to give like all his royalty checks for like all the movies he did with the Weinstein Company? He's going to give them all away.
I haven't heard him say that, but
I think I heard him say that he's going to get. Cause
he seems like the kind of person that would do that. I mean,
because the Weinstein Company was what helped basically fund all his first movies. I mean, Clerks and Mallrats and all that.
Yeah, here's the thing. Then that tells me if he's actually going to do that, if that's the case, that puts a red flag up on Kevin Smith that he knew some shit was going down and just went along with it and didn't say anything. And now that everything's exposed, he's feeling guilty. Because if it were me and I truly knew nothing about it, I wouldn't give my fucking hard-earned money away. The movies that I made, I'd say, look, I had nothing to do with this asshole. He had nothing. I mean, he might have put some money up on this movie, but he didn't have anything to do with making it. There's nothing wrong with my movie, and I'm not giving the money back. It was well-earned money.
I don't know. I think Kevin Smith said he didn't know what was going on, but he feels bad that he took money from someone who, that did this type of thing.
Look, everybody, every single time they get their paycheck, takes money from a lecherous rich fucker somewhere. Some rich asshole that thinks you're a piece of dirt under their heel pays your paycheck every 2 weeks. So why would you give your paycheck away? Because that guy's an asshole. I don't understand.
Now, who's safe in Hollywood? Charlie Sheen.
Well, no, I don't know.
No, because Charlie Sheen will come out and tell you right. Come on, Charlie Sheen has no qualms. He'll come out and say, "I fucked her."
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, but
that's because he's got tiger blood.
How he did it, that kind of depends. But I don't know. I think people in the internet age have gotten into this, the jury of Twitter. We've gotten past the due process and the court system and, everything. And now everybody's just judged by a blurb or a headline. So I refuse to do that because that's the dumb way to look at life. Due process in the court. If anybody did anything illegal, then they should pay for it. But I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a cop. I wasn't present for any of these allegations. I don't even know how half these people are that are making the accusations. So I find it hard. What am I going to add to this conversation online? I mean, I can't add anything to it. I don't know anything about it. I just know that the accusations are there, and some people are apologizing. Some people are denying them. I think Weinstein's totally denying everything. But I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Just like I can't go down to the courthouse during a rape trial or a burglary trial and just step up and say, I think he's guilty. Let's put him in jail. That's not my place to do that.
Yeah, let's see right here. Kevin Smith to donate dividends from Weinstein-made movies to women. This was the 18th of October. Once again, we're catching up a little bit here, people, because we had Horrorfest going on, so we're playing catch up a little bit on some news.
Yeah, this is still pretty hot button shit that's happening every day. I mean, you got accusers coming out of different people all the time. You got, and we've said our piece. The reason I come down so hard at Roman Polanski is Roman Polanski is known to have done what he did.
Oh yeah,
and there's also other allegations that he did it to the other young girls at the time. So I always say fuck Roman Polanski. There's a reason he's a fugitive from this country. And one of the things that made me really sick is the Academy Awards giving that asshole a standing ovation, giving a fugitive child molester, child rapist, and a standing ovation at the Academy Awards and handing that motherfucker a statue. That's disgraceful, Hollywood, just so you know. And if all these other allegations of especially the men in these positions, because every one of these guys just strikes me as the kind of guy to be like, I can't just come out and say, I think, in my mind, they're probably all guilty as shit. But I mean, let the court system handle it. Let the lawyers sort it out. If the women are all telling the truth, and some of the men even, then Godspeed. Hope they win. Hope they put some assholes in prison. Hope the whole, dominance, sexual dominance, power trip and bullshit ends in Hollywood, because that's bullshit. And I just hope for the best. I don't work in the Hollywood industry. We actually, the show, we do know some Hollywood people.
Yeah.
But I don't believe anybody that we know would be involved in any of this.
Right.
But
it says
it's a slippery slope to get into with just two guys on a podcast, because what the fuck do we know about it?
It says Smith's filmmaking career kicked off in 1994 with Clerks under Miramax, where he also made Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Jersey Girl. Then under the Weinstein Company label, Smith made Clerks 2 and Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Bob and Harvey Weinstein were also behind the controversial Smith-directed Dogma, which Lionsgate wound up releasing as the controversial Catholic-themed film could not go through the Disney-owned Miramax pipeline. Smith has said in recent interviews that he was approached by Weinstein in recent months to make a Dogma 2. Smith immediately turned down the offer.
No, I mean, yeah. I don't think he'd get that cast back, for one thing. Well, Carlin's dead.
Yeah, sadly.
And I don't think that, Chris Rock might do it. What's he doing?
He's going to give the dividends from the Weinstein movies to the nonprofit Women in Film, which advocates for the advances in careers of women working in the screen industry to achieve parity and transform culture. And now, Chief and I, we are all for women in film and women producers. We've had, heck, half the directors and producers we've had on this show have been female. And
I would say probably the majority overall of our guests on the show of the entire 4-year run have been women.
Yeah, we had that one episode with Jessica Cameron and Heather Dorff talking about women in Hollywood and how they're treated and everything. Now, we're all for equality and all of that. Nobody should be treated unfairly. Nobody should be treated like bullshit. Especially in Hollywood, where you're supposed to be. Hollywood, you think, I did theater for years, okay, in high school, and Hollywood is, the big stage. It's where you're supposed to go and have fun. You're supposed to have fun, create characters that people are going to watch, they're going to love, they're going to want to see more of. To hear this bullshit going behind the scenes, and it's old Hollywood mentality, and that old Hollywood mentality is bullshit. I mean, we talked before, yes.
Well, go back and look at a movie back in the old days, the old black and white movie from Hollywood. The misogyny's right there on the screen.
Yeah. It's right there on the screen, and now, yeah, I love old Errol Flynn movies. I love old Bogart films, things like that. But I love the films. What goes on behind the scenes does, it needs to stop what's going on behind the scenes, because it taints the film. It really taints the film when you hear about what may have gone on behind the scenes. And it's an awesome thing when I'll say this. one of my favorite movies, and I watch it every Easter, is the Ten